I'm Aaron Hallett. I write original Christian rock. Oh, man. So I just started out. I think my camera was not on the whole time. It does this thing where I freaking push the button and it turns itself back off. I've been sitting here. I wrote in this MIDI guitar thing quick to get a song structure down. I just started improvising some vocal melodies and putting lyrics down as I did it, and I was kind of showing the whole thing and all. And I look over and the damn camera's not recording. So anyway, I write original Christian rock, although it's kind of getting more metal as I go, but I do that. I just come out here every morning. I felt a little funny yesterday. I felt like my voice wasn't working that great, so I just decided to start out right away before I did anything else, and it got, worse as the day went on. So I've got this whole thing pieced together. Bump out a new track. Maybe I should just sing the whole thing, because none of this is on video. Damn it. Bottled up and floating, the receiver is hypothetical. I just did some improvised randomness through that whole thing. Might be better than what I did originally. I had a little bit of a weak entrance coming into that chorus, so I just duped it. So vocals are down. I got this MIDI guitar. This hang on. Won't play back. If I got input monitoring on this. That's instruction. Kind of sounds out of key at first because it jumps into the other key, but it's still playing notes in the same key. So when I get other instruments around, I'll try and kind of reinforce the key change so it doesn't sound so odd. Vocals are good, and let me grab my guitar. So I might change my mind, but I'm probably not going to try and replicate that MIDI guitar thing. That's just going to be there as a different part. I got through the whole thing. The hardest thing for me to do is not all the super complicated things. It is playing 4 chords in a row and not mixing them up. Especially if they're strung out for a long time. So that was not the most complicated part, but it was an all the way through thing, and I just wanted to get one of those just for visual whatever when I do the multi-member thing I do. I think that works. Let me listen. It's funny because the thing I got where I'm going to show in the video where I put all the parts together, I'm going to have the dumbest, most basic guitar on that. So it looks like I'm not doing anything. I'm going to do... I know some people edit the crap out of their stuff and clean that all up, but I'm nah, I'm just gonna play it as long as it's close enough. Who gives a yeah. Bottled up and floating. Bottled up and floating. I'm just gonna cut it. I couldn't get to the C sharp because I forgot what note was next. The yeah, it's not that I can't play the part, it's that my brain will not retain the information so I can remember what the next chord even is. That's the problem. Okay. The best if we rather where we go that's instruction. The best if we rather where we go resting. I'm a genius. I say sarcastically because I had the freaking volume pot on my guitar off that whole time and didn't even notice. I'm gonna have to do some low cuts on some of these guitars. They sound a little bit muddy right now, but alright, I'm gonna do the guitar solo. Solo's done. She just kept playing right through the last chorus. I also just automated the volume down on the MIDI and that main guitar that's going to be playing through there, so it just doesn't eat the solo up. And I then just low cut the crap out of a lot of those heavy guitars, so they should just sound a little nicer now. I'll refine that, but just needed something because I was like, it's too sludgy. Alright, so I got my bass. Alright, how about this? I'm just gonna crank the F out of my mic right now. Okay, so my camera battery was dying, so here's the camera battery. I just took it out. I don't have a replacement, but what I do have is a dummy battery, which is a thing that's plugged in to the wall. The thing is, I keep getting a ground loop hum, which I can't eliminate really, so there's a slight hum. But I can finish the video and screw this thing, right? Alright, so that's back on the charger. The only thing I have left to do right now is the drum part. So I'm just going to track the drums. There's probably some stuff while I'm talking. I'm going to try and put on like a little voice isolation plugin I can use and stuff on the video editor, but you're still hearing some crackling. It's because there's a ground loop hum with the battery. But in the case of my battery keeling over and dying halfway through, I got that thing so I can just pop it in the camera and keep rolling rather than having to take a 20-minute break to get just enough charge to finish. I am gonna crank the absolute crap out of my mic right now, and even more. Okay. I just want to like make the signal to noise ratio so different that like this voice isolation thing can pick this up and run with it. Okay, because yeah, like I said, I got a little battery thing in and it's making a ground loop hum, and that is not good for audio on the camera. Oh yeah, the mic's hot. I got this thing way louder than I normally have it. Got the drums down, got the guitars done. I got a MIDI guitar on there. I was mainly using that as an outline, but I'm gonna leave it in the mix because it sounds good. I might even throw some ambient guitars on. I've done that here and there. If I decide to do it and you hear it, it's just gonna be me going like do basic crap on the piano just to fill in some chords. So I think I'm just gonna cut to the end of the video here. I've done that millions of times, so that's what's going on. I play the keyboard into some guitar library. I just picked the sound. It's probably going to be some ambient thing if I decide to use it in the chorus, but it's very basic stuff, so yeah. Anyway, that's there. The lyrics are done. I think, actually I gotta just double check. I might have improvised some randomness. The vocals are already recorded. I'm gonna run them through Humanoid. That's a plugin I use a lot of times on my vocals, so when you hear those robot sounds, I don't necessarily need it for the tuning because I can sing mostly in tune, give or take, but I like the robotic, like, vocoder effects that it does quite a bit, especially with this heavier stuff. If I was doing more like, you know, just basic rock or acoustic or something, I'd probably leave my voice pretty dry with just some light compression and reverb. But since I'm trying to fight through mega death heavy guitars, I'm like needing something, and this does the trick. This and another plugin called Clip Distortion. That's like my main trick to just cut right through the mix. Those lyrics are going to be bottom of the description box when they're completed because I got to do that, but they're always down there. The middle of my description box has where you can find me online, purchase and stream my music, so I've got a lot of places I'm available online. I just write music literally every day. I come out here, I'm just saying, hey, here I am, I'm writing music if you want to see the process. I just bumble through it. Today was a cluster something. But, you know, that's what happens. Forget to turn the camera on, have all kinds of technical issues, battery dies in the camera, you name it. So, yeah. Actually, there were more things, like my doorknob on my studio broke, so I had to, like, get in through. I have a front door I never use. Middle, I'd said bottom, middle, top, that has a link. I always say it's Christian rock in the beginning. I put the link there just as a resource. I'm not going to sit here and literally preach to you or anything like that or try and teach anything. It's not my thing. I just write music. But I say this link's here. Check it out if you want, because unlike everything else I see online, which I would label as subjective teaching, meaning they're importing usually traditional denominational, but then other things as baggage, this is objective teaching. So total opposite of that. And it's, what does this say? What were the writers intending? Grammar translation from the original languages, and then just teaching straight from that with no other outside things skewing the meaning. So I think it's a good resource. I almost tripped up on the word, but I think it's a good resource, and that's why it's there. So I'll be out tomorrow morning. I'm going to just cut the video off there. You'll see the song. I don't know when the heck this thing is going to go up because I got something to do in a little bit. And then we got to move cars around because we got a big snowstorm coming, and yeah, it's going to be a whole thing. So anyway, thanks for watching. And you're probably seeing this later than usual, but I just got crap going on today. Anyway, see you tomorrow. Here comes the song. Bye.